All right, what's up? It's Ed the Dread coming to you live via the internet and computer and such. Might as well start embracing this thing, so here we are. Today I'm going to be talking about Ferguson. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know what it was. I was surfing all yesterday, and then I started reading responses online from what people have said on Facebook or posted where they've been at and Instagram and things. And what I've deduced from the situation is that another black youth was shot by a police officer. The real question I have about this is, how many times does it happen? Like, definitely not the first. I mean, I'm pretty sure people were like eating Skittles and putting their hoods up for the kid like a year ago. I mean, I'm biracial. I know what it's all about in America. Like, the cops will harass you. They've thought that I've been a black male my whole life when, you know, my father is white. It's crazy. But I mean, as far as all the riots and all the stuff in reaction to it and how people react to that reaction, I just have to say, like, when are we going to try something different? If you look at everything that's happened in the past, like, how many times are we just going to keep rioting? How many times are people going to protest? How many times are people going to, you know, be involved for a week, be involved for 2 weeks, be involved for 3 weeks, talk about it, be about it, live about it until, like, the next scenario comes? And, I mean, it happens every time. Like, I mean, you saw it here in Hurricane Sandy. Like, once you get outside of New Jersey, after, like, a week or two after the actual thing happened, it's like nobody even knows, nobody talks about it, nobody cares. It's how we do. The media just blinds us to what they want to throw at you every second. So what I'm talking about is something different that we all should try and maybe just change our consciousness. You know, like, everyone has great ideas on, you know, how to react to what happened to the scenario, but what if we all just loved each other? I mean, I know it's super tough to say, right? Like, a cop shot somebody you know, and then you're just gonna love him. But if you look at it the way that, like, karma, things come back around to you, you might as well love him, because, like, if that was a conscious decision he made to, you know, kill another human, it's probably going to come back to him pretty hard. When it comes to people that have had, like, higher levels of consciousness and tried to help others to raise theirs, I mean, if you think about Martin Luther King, right? He was super peaceful. He actually, in a TED Talks that I've seen of Simon Sinek, he spoke about how, you know, true leaders inspire people. Martin Luther King was a man who had 1 million people come meet on the, you know, down in Washington, D.C. on the mall. 1 million people, you know, before there was social media, before you could put an advertisement on TV, you know. How come all these people got there? Well, the way that Simon explains it is why he was actually doing what he was doing. You know, the purpose behind it, the reason, the passion, which was essentially love. I mean, he wanted, you know, the laws of man to be the same as the laws of nature, which obviously they're not here in this country. And he was trying to make a change, being peaceful and being loving. But again, you know, to me, it's just, we keep doing the same thing over and over. Like, kids get shot by cops. Why'd they get shot? Not because a kid was walking down the street, you know, not because a cop is out harassing him and whatever the case is. The real thing behind all this is just a societal problem that we have, you know, especially if it's normal for people to get killed by cops. Because, again, this isn't the first time, this isn't the last time it's going to happen. Until we can all try to change something and do more than just protest or riot, it's not going to change. You know, the societal problem, and you can see it played out on one side and the other side, where some people's response to a riot that just happened is, you know, now you're proving why people think that you're ghetto or whatever the case is. But in reality, I mean, I lived in Pittsburgh, and people riot after the Steelers win a big game. You know, like, people in college flip cars over if their team wins a championship. So, like, no one really gives about those riots except for those 3 or 4 days after it's portrayed in the news. So, I mean, societal problems, like, I'd say the main one here in America is just have versus have not, or want versus need. I mean, we're marketed to think that we need stuff that we really just want. You know, people have nothing, and they're put around people that have everything or have the money to do everything. And, you know, it causes a divide. So it's just, you know, once everything isn't based on money, and once it's not based on, like, wanting to, you know, portray yourself some way or be some way, and everybody's just cool with being themselves and just loving others, then, you know, I don't think money will be the issue. I don't think that people will have a problem with just walking down the street knowing that the cop is doing his job, not because he's secure, that he has an ego, just because he likes actually protecting people in the neighborhood, you know? Or the rapper that wants to rap, not to get $1 million, not to have a car, but to spread like a nice message, to teach kids to do something, not to just talk about negative stuff. So, you know, once there's love and there's actually a passion or an intent behind what you do, then you want to do it. And you'll strive to do it for whatever it takes. You know, we won't have a nation of doctors getting paid millions of dollars to just keep propagating pills and stuff, because they're getting paid to. You know, people would be doing their job because they really, really liked to do it and they loved it, and then it'd be a completely different place. So I think realistically, the answer to what we should do is, you know, just spread love. I mean, a lot of people have the right idea, and are saying that, you know, violence isn't going to cure it, but then the message they're spreading is cursing while they're talking to the camera. So again, I'm not putting down anyone. I believe that we all have, you know, have the purest of souls until you're beaten down by society or conditioned to think one way. And the people that are out there with good responses, you guys keep up the good fight, man. But just remember that the message that you portray, even if it's positive, could be downplayed by you know, the language you use or the way that you come about talking about it. So basically, I think we should all just love each other. Try something different. Try something new. Even if you're arguing with someone, if you tell them you love them, what will their response be? You know, just yesterday I was surfing and a guy almost hit me with his board, and I was like, yo man, look, I love you. And he smiled, and I was like, but you shouldn't let your board go when you're duck diving a big wave, especially when there's people behind you. You know? And it was cool. We smiled. We went about our day. He got the message. I portrayed the message. It was all good. And I love him. Hopefully he still loves me, and we're all human. So love each other. Okay? Even if someone's hating on you, tell them you love them. Keep it cruising. Ed the Dread signing off.